air, water, earth, fire. For hundreds of years, the four nations have lived in harmony. The Avatar, master of all four elements, was always responsible for maintaining the peace. But Avatar Roku passed away 13 years ago. Now, the four nations look to the air nomads to reveal the next Avatar, but the world is met with silence. Rumors from the Earth Kingdom abound that the Fire Nation is planning an aggressive move into the Earth Kingdom. 5 young heroes were too late to save the Southern Air Temple, but they hold vital information that could save the Earth Kingdom and maybe even save the world. Previously on the Flying Bison podcast.
Dosa and she plummeting to the earth. The rest of the crew fights Dosa and she's dragon on top of the fortress of ash. But they were too late to save their companion before he fell to the ground. How will our heroes recover?
You know, sometimes a character comes along and their just entire existence, it's magical, right? Everything that they say, everything they do, it just means something so special. And then they're gone and their loss is just felt even more powerful. And that's why it's such a hard thing to talk about the passing of this wonderful person. Johnny Button, we hardly know you. So Johnny is no longer with us, and we're just going to move on without Johnny.
What?
Bye, Johnny.
Bye, Johnny.
He is here. He is with us, Justin. Johnny is forever.
Just to send him off. You were such a magical and special part of this podcast, and such a bummer that we have to see you go like this.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Why are
joking.
you doing this?
No, it's in the rule book for Avatar Legends, everybody. Yep. Whatever happens to your character in the game, you have to happens to happen to you in real life.
That's terrible.
So we've been scouring the map, the world, for a mountain that we can just toss Johnny off of.
Yeah, found the perfect one finally.
There's so many to choose from, you know? Really had to shop around for a bit.
Oh my gosh. There we go. Well, we're here. It's no, it is sad, but it's also, you just got to keep going, right? Because that's what happens sometimes in stories is people go, and I know we've had a week to grieve through it a little bit, and I hope you have as well too. But I don't know, Osa. I don't know if it's the last we'll see of Osa. I'm sure there'll be something we can do with Osa in the future. So I was thinking about, is there a character like death that meant a lot to you? A fictional character death, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you are familiar with the book series or the television series The Magicians. I liked both a lot. The Magicians, at a certain point, they went beyond where the books were, and the one of the main characters, they just felt like his story was done, and so that character died in the show, and it was really, really, really impactful.
You know, now that I've just asked this question, I realize it's very spoiler heavy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, slight spoiler warning.
How
for whatever
about
we talk about.
a real life person as well, too?
Oh my god!
I don't know.
You just want to go for the grief, Justin?
Wow.
When I was in college, my dog and my great grandma died the same weekend. That was rough.
Wow. That's rough. All right, never mind. This is a bad idea. This is a really bad idea.
I mean, I feel like mine won't. I feel like mine won't spoil anything. Like, if you haven't watched Star Wars or Harry Potter, like at this point, I don't know what to tell you. So, like for me, it's the wisdom figures. So, like, you know, when Dumbledore dies, killed me. That was awful for me. Oh, I said Star Wars. I don't even know who I was thinking of in Star Wars. Oh, Yoda. Yeah.
Every single mentor figure.
Well, yeah, all the mentors. That's so true.
Yeah.
But
I
especially,
thought you were going to say Obi.
especially Yoda for me.
Doesn't really make sense.
Like, I've always loved wisdom figures. So,
That's right.
and authors always kill them because that's what happens to wise people.
You know,
Yeah.
this is a bit of a tangent, but it has to do with Star Wars and wisdom figures dying. And I just have to point out, I was reading something the other day, and someone was pointing out that they burn Qui-Gon Jinn's body on a pyre, but they are standing so close to the pyre that you have to assume that either it's not actually hot enough to effectively burn his body, or they're just suffering, and probably like suffering 3rd-degree burns standing so close to it.
Just having a
Someone
good time.
had to really think about that pyre, huh? Some pyre physics.
The first one's funnier for sure.
Yeah.
That's just like a body that's like
Sizzling.
a little. It's like a little bit on sizzling. On
Like
fire,
it would
it's not
smell
enough
like
to-
burning hair, and
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Just
Simmer
be really
for 6
disgusting.
hours, and boom, Qui-Gon Jinn.
they stood there and watched their friend turn into a pot roast instead of being cremated.
Not hot enough, this fire is.
No, yeah, Master Yoda. It's
We should
perfect.
probably do like an advisory on this episode for dark themes.
Back to characters dying. No, you brought up Harry Potter, Steve. For me, it's always like father figures or like older sibling type deals, or just like that kind of like almost paternal relationship. So like when Sirius died, it fell apart. That was a huge. I was reading through the books. I was like 12.
It's a sad one.
Yeah, my mom spoiled it kind of slightly for me, which didn't help.
Come on, Mom.
Yeah, no, she thought I was further in the book than I was. Anyways,
Fatal mistake.
yeah.
Monroe, have any of the characters that you have played,
Yeah.
have they died?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of like it because it's something different.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because like I feel like a lot of actors love death scenes. Is
I mean,
that true
I
for you as well?
enjoyed mine because I was this character for 4 years. So I was kind of, yes, it's done. And it was like, it was the finale of the finales. So, and I think no one expected it. So it was really, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it was a nice way to end her story. Yeah.
Cool.
As far as fictional characters, there is a character in like a movie that just came out that I won't say because I don't want to spoil it, but that one made me really sad. And but Game of Thrones, like everybody, like, yeah, Game of Thrones. That one was hard with the Red Wedding, because I just didn't expect that either. And then the finale with Daenerys, I just thought they kind of did her wrong, or so.
For sure.
Yeah.
I loved Daenerys.
Like I was cool with how. Yeah,
Until
I
the
was cool with
end.
how she ended. I just felt like it was rushed.
It
was rushed.
It was.
If they had spent another season really developing her descent into madness, it would have been a worthwhile.
And I felt like
part of her
that's what
arc,
made it
but-
worse for me to watch her like go, because it's like, man, they spent all this time on you, and then they don't even like care about like your end. So it just kind of made it hurt more.
It's funny. In Borderlands 3, there's like an Easter egg reference to her. There's like a secret boss fight, and like the boss's one weakness is kind of a reference to that whole like thing. I don't want to spoil anything, so
You're being so cryptic, man.
That was so poorly explained, Danny.
Basically, there's this boss, and she's incredibly difficult. But if you just walk up to her and melee her, she dies instantly.
Has anyone seen Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom? Yeah,
Oh.
Is that the second one?
with the Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
Where they're in the balls,
well,
right?
they're in balls in both
No,
of
that's
them.
the first.
But the Brontosaurus, when it's
Oh.
trying to catch up to the ship, and there's like lava coming, and they can't save it. You remember that?
Yeah.
That made me cry like weeping tears for like something that was CGI and that wasn't really there, but like it was sad. It's heartbreaking for me, if that counts.
Yeah.
No, we all care about the dinosaurs for sure.
For sure.
I always like when a character death has like a deeper like metaphorical meaning and isn't just a death. Like that's one of the things I don't necessarily love about like grimdark fantasy like Game of Thrones, where it's just like a lot of the deaths are just there to prove that nobody's safe, and that's kind
true.
of the extent of it. But like going back to Harry Potter, Cedric Diggory, when he dies, and it kind of is really a representation of the end of Harry's innocence and like the end of his safety.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so I like when deaths are kind of pull double duty like that.
We started watching all the Harry Potter movies because Rachel's boyfriend hasn't seen any of them, and Rio was watching the first couple with us because they're like pretty fun family movies. And then it was like, we're gonna have to start watching these when he goes to bed because they quickly become very dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the changes is in the Goblet of Fire for sure.
Let's not forget though, in 3, they tried to suck a man's soul
Three's
out
the
of
other
his
one.
body.
Yeah. Yep. 1 and 2, where we let him watch 1 and 2, and then after that, I was like, I don't think you should watch the rest of them.
You want to show your son a physical manifestation of depression? Check it out.
Particularly. I mean, he does see me every day, so.
Oh my god.
Yo, self roast.
Whoa.
Yo, get off the pyre, Justin.
Self-roast. Those are rare.
It's not going to burn you, Justin. You're
This episode
just
brought to you by
needlessly.
BetterHelp. Don't be slow roasted.
When I was thinking of this question, I thought of. Now I'm trying to think, like, I probably shouldn't spoil things for people. But there's a. I actually haven't finished the show because we stopped watching it. But Danny and our whole family, we were super into The Walking Dead. And there's a ton of character deaths in there. But there's one that sort of just comes out of nowhere, especially when you're reading the graphic novels. They meet this really sadistic person, and he just kills one of them randomly. And it's a very beloved character. In a very brutal fashion that he is gone.
Sounds like
Two
my
of them
cousin.
randomly.
So many people you could be talking about in that show.
I know.
It describes
I know.
so many story arcs.
It does. It does. But I guess I don't want to spoil it. We can talk later. But then I was also thinking this one is not a spoiler because in the same vein as Johnny, it's death, but it's not. I was thinking of The Good Place, the season finale of The Good Place.
Boy, I haven't finished it yet.
Well, I mean, it's literally a show about the afterlife, right?
Well, yeah. So I guess they're all dead.
So like death is
Surprise.
ever present. I loved the way that they approached what death means in the season finale. It's really beautiful.
I gotta finish that 4th season.
It's so good. The beginning of the 4th season is not great, and then like the back half of season 4 is just like. It's honestly beautiful. Like when I finished it, I told Abby, I was like, can we just like not talk for a second? Because I need a moment to like process the last 4 years of the show.
The first 6
I
seasons were
stopped
incredible.
watching like in the beginning of the last season because I was like, it just felt strange.
From the beginning of the last season, you wouldn't have expected them to stick the landing so hard, but rarely do shows stick the landing as well as they did.
Good. So good. As a religion philosophy student, I loved that show from beginning to end. And it was my style of humor too. Because it's like heaven. They can literally like make whatever jokes they want. So like jokes just come out of left field, and I love that stuff.
Man, thinking about that too, like was Cheaty like your spirit animal? Like did you just like?
I do love Cheaty. I love Cheaty a lot. I still quote the it's because I knew that almond milk took so much water, and I still drank it anyway. That is great. It's so funny.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it's all good.
You would really like The Good Place, Steve.
Okay.
Very good.
You'd really like it. It's really good stuff. At least watch the first season.
Okay.
It's very good. It's very good.
Love like the morality lessons.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about like meaning of deaths and stuff like that. I think I just finished WandaVision, and I felt that one was like really deep at the end, and what she had to kind of give up for that, and what does it mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about retroactively giving like a character death that wasn't given a whole lot of like impact in its original, like when it originally happened, but like retroactively adding so much more weight to it. It was just a cool way to do that.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was a good show. Man, I don't know. All this talk of death, I'm not sure how to transition.
You know what's not
Speaking of death.
dead?
Speaking of death,
Osa just died.
Bye, Osa.
No.
Oh
I was just gonna say, you know what's not dead? This show,
know what's not
and
dead.
then we just
Yes.
continue.
there you go. There you go.
That's probably better.
We're gonna. I mean, if you pick it up like right after this has happened, I think we had Liko kind of fly back up, holding that necklace that Osa was wearing, the sort of airbending symbol necklace, and we saw that scene with Monk Pasang, who was Osa's airbending master, and then we had that moment too with Dosa still there.
Yeah, he's
And
just
we had
knocked
that
out badly.
moment with Che and Rosic. So we'll definitely have to resolve what you guys do with Dosa.
Yeah, that was another powerful moment.
That was also great. That was very good. And I think that probably it picks up the three of you, Rosic and Ren and Che and Boomy as well, are sort of just up there, and you hear the beat of dragon wings coming up over the the ridge, and for a moment you're thinking, this can't be where it ends. Is this over? Is she coming back? And over the cliff edge rises Liko on top of Rue, and they just sort of quietly land on the ground. Liko gets off.
Through tears, Ren would turn to Liko and ask, Can you take me down there?
Justin, I don't think we talked about this last time because I think it was like too emotional, but is there anything left of Osa's body?
There is, because you pulled a necklace off of it.
That could be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not to, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't want to get. I don't want to get too gruesome. This is still
okay. I just want to make sure.
Show, so yes,
you don't.
Yeah. He is not roadkill.
You don't have to put this in the thing, but I just want to make sure that there was something.
Hey, remember though, she was under him, so
yeah, she is roadkill. But
okay,
just like an immaculate form of Osa on like a pile of spaghetti.
I mean, I just want to make sure here.
All right, sorry.
There's just an Osa-shaped dent in the ground.
It's not snow.
I'm gonna put myself back in the mood, back in the scene.
Okay.
Come on.
Ren has just asked if you can take him down to see Osa.
Liko can't even talk. She's just, she's at a loss for words. So she just touches his arm and rubs it a little, and then nods her head. But before she takes him down, she just wants to check on the rest of the team.
Ren forces himself up and limps over to Rue and waits.
And Liko, you look and see the unconscious body of Dosa, and sort of standing above him, arm in arm, shoulder in shoulder, limping, sort of like they're not standing straight, but standing over this unconscious body is Rozek and Che.
She doesn't even ask. She knows what happened.
Yeah. Che nods and let's go say goodbye, bro.
Bro's like, for a while too, he's just been like staring just at Dosa, just at his face. And after a while, Bro's like just nods his head and just turns to Rue and starts walking towards Rue.
I'll carry you over there.
I guess limping towards Rue.
Che supports
yeah, we
him
got
over.
pretty beat up. Yeah.
There we go, wrecked.
Yeah, I almost see like Rozek like trying to walk by himself, and then he like stumbles.
Yeah.
And then Che has to like pick him back up again.
And Liko looks at Boomy and like kind of like nods over to join them on Rue. Is he?
Boomy wordlessly follows
He's not on
as well
fire
too.
anymore, right? I'm guessing. Someone. Okay.
He's not. No.
Just
No,
in
he's
case.
Meanwhile, Boomy
laying in the
Boomy's
fire.
cackling in a sea of
Put it out,
fire.
or- Oh, yeah.
You're killing the mood, Boomy. Yeah. So yeah, once we're all on and soar down into the valley, I think Ren would put his hand on the closest person to try to kind of comfort. I'm going to say that that's Rozek.
Do you say anything? Is that
Nope, all I got is a hand.
okay? Rozek, how comforting is that? Does that
Just
actually
a
comfort
hand.
you, or is it?
I don't know. I mean, he feels it.
Sure.
He's very though. Like when anyone looks at Rozek, they can see he's very like I don't know if like spacey is a strong enough word, but he's very like he's like
Catatonic.
not present,
Yeah.
like almost catatonic. Yeah.
Disassociate.
Yeah.
He's heavily disassociating right now, and he's just sitting on Rue and basically just staring off into blank space. He's probably thinking about something.
Can I roll for comfort?
Well, no, because Rozek said that didn't really comfort him.
Oh, okay.
So it depends on. That's why I asked Rozek if that comforts him. That's a key part of that move, is that the person is in fact comforted or could be comforted by that thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I
we
don't
can
think,
erase
yeah.
this, but I'm just reading it as I roll, and then on a hit, they decide if they open up to you.
He would decide whether he opens up to you or not. But he's the key piece of that is when you comfort or support an NPC, and part of that is that person being comforted.
Okay.
So if they're not comforted, you're not triggering that move.
Gotcha. Okay.
It says here on the Yip Yip, when you and your friends travel via your animal companion, everyone clears a condition. Do we get to do that here, or when we actually travel?
It's when you travel. I will say too that as you are all traveling down the valley, down towards Osa's body, you see the black dragon who was down in that area as well. He sort of lands near. Looks like he picks something up and then flies off. You get down, and Osa's body is still there. General Shees is not.
Ren will dismount and crawl over to Osa's body, and the tears just keep flowing. And he grabs really tight onto some of his robes with both hands.
Go notices that and just gives him space, but she can't bear to watch either.
Jay will move to the opposite of Ren, and will sort of lightly touch Osa's robes and then kind of pull his hand back and then stand up and cross over behind Ren, kneel down behind him and just put his hand on his back.
Through his tears, Ren just whispers, "I know that you were ready, but we weren't ready. I wasn't ready."
Take the time that you need. And Jay will stand up and just kind of like wander in a different direction, and away from
You fall
everyone.
off another cliff.
Just go off in a different direction and start earthbending.
Liko goes up to Ren and she pulls out the necklace and she says, I think this should belong to you. And she gives it to him.
Thank you. Ren hangs on to it, and after some time, I think, forces himself away from Osa's body.
Yeah, Liko leaves Osa's body, and she just hugs Rue.
And Nick, you just said Che's just like earthbending. He's like practicing or something.
No, he's carving out like as big as he can make them. The 3 wind spirals, like as big as he can make them, and then he's going to make like a small grave underneath them.
Yeah. So while Che's doing this, Rozak's still sitting on Rue, and I'm sure no one even notices because they're all preoccupied. But like now, Rozak is just staring at Che, still like in his thoughts, and obviously no one notices this. But like right now, his words are just flooded with like the echoes of Dosa's words that he spoke of his family, and yeah, that's what Rozak's doing.
He said you can't trust Che.
Mm-hmm. So now his eyes are sort of just locked on Che.
Well, the moment passes, and Che, you make this grave and this icon to mark the passing of a fallen soldier. And you guys get back together, and you guys got to decide where to go next.
Once Osa is buried, and we're all back en route, I think Ren would say, "I want to tear this place down. The whole Fire Nation military staging area, but we should rest."
Rozak's also going to address probably just Liko, because she's the Rue driver, the Rue pilot. So he's going to say, we need to grab Dosa and keep him with us.
Okay. So she tells Rue to go up.
All of you, or just...
Yeah, I think we're
all
all going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were en route, and you climb up to the top, and Dosa's unconscious body is still there.
Okay, good. So I was scared you're going to say, he's gone.
I'm not gonna lie, it could have. There's so many interesting things on both sides, but I kind of want to see what happens if he's with you.
He's gone. There's nothing there but his ebony hand.
It's just a big middle finger to you.
I'm taking that hand.
I'm taking that hand. How much for the hand?
No,
His unconscious body is there.
I'm serious. I'm taking the hand.
Wait, you can probably bend it.
Yeah, that's why I want it.
I just realized.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to take it then.
To the best of his ability, Rozak's going to try to slide off of Rue by himself.
I think you've had a moment to collect yourself, so yeah, I think you can do it. You're still, pretty weak, but...
Yeah, so he slides off of Rue and I guess maybe falls over, does like 2 or 3 somersaults, says, ooh, ooh, and then he gets up and he limps over to Dosa. He's trying to grab Dosa's body by himself. I don't know if anyone's gonna...
Rozak, what are you doing?
He's gonna limp over to Dosa and start just trying to drag his body over
I can
to
help
Rue.
you out. I got you.
Yeah, I would nudge Boomy as well.
Yeah, actually, so as Boomy and Che are walking over there, Che's going to turn to Boomy and be like, "Hey, how familiar are you with like collapsing tunnels? Maybe a whole mountain."
I don't know if I'm that powerful.
Well, this is like a cave, like a series of cave-ins. How about that?
I think with some time, you and I could do that.
Sounds like something we should do.
It might take a little bit though. I don't.
That's a good point.
Probably the better part of a day, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's too much work. You guys got an army, right? In Omashu?
Well, I am the prince.
Yeah, that's what I'm... Yeah. We need to tell your dad about this, obviously.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That's actually what we
Isn't that
came
why you
here.
came?
Yeah, that's why we came. And he wouldn't see us because we needed to find you, and then, all this happened. So, anyways, do you have a prison cell for this guy?
I think I could find something for him.
Cool. Well, I guess it's really up to Rozek. What did you want to do with him, Rozek?
Prison would probably be best. We can tie him to Rue in the meantime, but
All right.
we just need to make sure he has no way of ever showing up again.
Well, we'll do our best. All right. I don't think we need to be here anymore. In fact, I'm sure the contingent below are probably starting to get active, so we should get out of here.
Is everybody on Rue?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Nico tells Rue to start flying anywhere at this point. It doesn't just as long as we're not here.
Just head back to the
We gotta
palace.
go back to the palace as soon as possible.
Do you plan to land and walk in like you have before, or just fly straight up to the
Let's just fly
palace?
straight up to the palace.
I love it. Root takes off into the sky, high above the clouds, and just starts flying towards Omashu. Eventually, Rue descends, and you are on top of Omashu. And above the clouds, no one saw you coming, so Rue descends out of the clouds, and it's so quick that, the guards of Omashu didn't have a chance. Normally, they would see something like this and, fire a bunch of stones and boulders at whatever is trying to come at them. But because you were above the clouds, you land in the courtyard palace, and there's this giant uproar as all these guards come running in, and they've got the earthbending stance, and Boomy goes, no, it's okay, they're with me, and all the guards lower their hands.
Che just looks really tired and is like, all right, so can we talk to your dad now?
Sure.
Cool.
Follow me.
Oh, we follow him? Wasn't there a courtyard guard that we talked to before?
Yeah.
Yeah, his shift is over though. So
Dang.
Yeah. There's a cutscene to him just playing Pai Sho in his room.
Playing Pai Sho alone is just sad.
Rozek's also gonna address some guards and gesture towards Dosa on the back of Rue and say, what was Dosa's rank again? It was, I don't know.
He's a Fire
just gonna say
Nation
this
soldier.
Yeah, this kid here's a Fire Nation soldier who we managed to capture.
What? Why would you capture a Fire Nation soldier?
Because you're under attack from the Fire Nation. Where do you think your prince was? Why do you think we have burn marks? Why do you think he has burn marks? You're not really on top of it, are you? Yeah, we'll just bring him to the king. Come on. Everybody's coming.
oh yeah, I'm just walking by.
Yeah.
Until someone obviously looks like a king, I will pay no mind.
I think as you're leaving too, you just hear no, it takes me a moment to think of things. It's it's okay. It's okay. They didn't know.
Now I feel bad.
Yeah, Rozek is just
Marking guilty.
Marking guilt. Is Rozek a little bit better now, at being able to walk on his own?
Yeah, no, I think you've had enough time. You don't need someone to support you.
So while we're walking,
you obviously look beat up.
Well, yeah.
But,
yeah, while we're walking, Rozek's just dragging Dosa by his ankles.
Yep. All right. And you're walking through, and at some point there's the attendant that told you to find Boomy is you can't see oh, Prince, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm safe. These people saved me.
We did indeed.
I suppose you've taken care of your end of the bargain. There was something you needed to tell the king?
Yeah. Now.
All right.
Yeah, right now.
This way. Yes.
Go on.
Okay, fine. It's very important.
He's right. Thanks, Billy.
And the attendant leads you to this giant ornate door. And you walk in, they open the door, and at the end of this hallway is this throne, and this old man is sitting on it, and he's got this fancy headdress on, and he's wearing these like flowing green robes. And Boomy just goes, "Father, I have returned." There's just silence. The king just like shakes his head. Come in.
Okay, all right.
My attendant told me you had something to tell me.
Oh, yeah, your city is under attack by the Fire Nation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, they had a staging, a staging camp in the mountains. They had abducted your son. You were completely oblivious to all of this, but don't worry, we took care of most of it. You can, figure
Tell
out the
him
rest
about
yourself.
the air temple.
Oh, yeah. And also the Fire Nation has destroyed all of the air nomads and their temples, and now they're coming to take over the rest of the Earth Kingdom.
Well, I can see tact is not something you're familiar with.
I actively avoid it.
That was an easy conversation.
Thank you for saving my son. I suppose thanks is an order of some regard. Yes, Father, they're incredible heroes. And he like strikes a pose. I'm also suppose sorry is an order for having to put up with my son.
No, he's great. Everyone else in this city, major problem. Major issues.
What are you talking about?
It's mostly a joke. I'm just really angry.
If we didn't have to save his son, Osa would still be here.
That's a good point.
So Liko looks at the king and says, "We lost one of our own trying to save yours, and you just want to say sorry?"
I didn't know. If I had known, you have lost the ultimate friendship, and nothing I say can bring him back. I can only thank you for saving my son and bringing him safely back.
No, there is something more you can do. So the Fire Nation base that we just assaulted to get your son and who's our friend, it has more Fire Nation soldiers in it. So go get rid of them.
Make your city safe.
I don't care about yours.
Why doesn't Shay plead? And depending on how he rolls, I'm cool with both Liko and Ren helping. If they want.
Yeah.
You gotta mark a fatigue, though, to help.
Oh, I'm at 5 already.
You can mark a condition, then.
Oh, yeah. I got conditions left. I'll do that.
Yes. I rolled a 9. -1 is a 8.
An 8. So if both of you were to mark a fatigue, you could bump that up to a 10.
I got it.
I can't do that because I'm all
doing it.
fatigued out. But you said I can mark a condition?
Yep, so instead of marking a fatigue, you would mark a
I'd say
condition.
she's angry.
And then, depending on what condition you mark, I'd like to give me a little bit. Like, how does that affect how you also, like, what else do you say that reflects that condition being marked?
She's, I think she's pissed right now because, they went through all this trouble. They're all fatigued out. She's never felt this exhausted, this beaten. No, I don't think any of us have. We all feel like failures, and put on top of it, we lost Osa. So I think she's pissed. Like she has like questions of her own, but I think she's just too angry to ask them. So that explains a little bit.
Yeah. I mark foolish, and I just mutter to Che, this isn't even worth it.
It's starting to feel that way.
Guards, please tell them where this place is.
Hey, some action. Jay will walk over and pull out a map and show them or explain where it is. Whatever works.
And you show to the guards, and the king goes, "I want you to send everyone you have available. Do not let this stand." And the guards nod their head and run off.
Did you know they were there?
No, I had no idea that they were there. You have told me a lot of new information. And I apologize if it took me a moment to collect my kingly bearing and respond to it, but it caught me off guard.
I feel like Liko's really suspicious after everything she's been through, everyone lying to her, and he's almost sounds exactly the same as like everybody else who said they didn't know something when they really did. I think this is really triggering her right now. So
I almost feel like, yeah, she's like seeing flashes of Iron and Kanu, like as the king is talking. Good news is you've got a couple people who are really good at reading suspicious people.
Now that there's actually some action, Ren is just gonna like walk over to like a cushion or a pillar, whatever I can find, and just like lean against it and sleep, like in the palace proper, like the king's throne room. I do not care.
No, of course. What are you doing standing around? Get them some rooms. They must be exhausted. And the attendant says, "No, sorry," and runs off to get some rooms ready for all of you.
Rozak's gonna say, "I'm sorry, what's your name again?"
Oh, we never got his name.
You're talking to me and you don't know mine. Boomy, did you...
We've never known your name.
Didn't tell him your name. You told me not to. And he says, "I am King Malu. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintances. What are your names?"
I'm Chainao Launcher. This is my brother Rozak. This is Liko. And that's Ren's song, Falling Asleep over there.
Liko like does that whole like spicy thing, and she's just the one that's missing is Osa. Just so you know his name.
I was just about to ask for his name. He will be remembered as a fallen hero of Omashu.
See, this is what's really making me a little... I don't understand this. How did you not know that they were there? They had a whole zoo. You didn't notice that things were missing, or you didn't see the Fire Nation soldiers walking around your city?
I've heard reports of the Fire Nation, but haven't seen them here in Omashu, so I didn't know. It was rumors as far as I can tell. I saw no invasion of any Fire Nation soldiers anywhere.
Rozak's gonna roll Suspicious Mind.
Che is also going to roll.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a 10 for Rozak.
It's a 12 for Che.
Okay, so 4 questions. You get a hold 2. You can spend a hold to ask me a question, and I will answer honestly.
Che and Rozak just start barraging him with questions.
Actually, you know what's funny? We've been playing it this way, which I actually like more is you like in character asking them this question. Technically, you're supposed to ask me, the player, but it's always more fun to ask in character than anything.
I guess Rozak's just gonna take like one step closer and just say, like, so you had no idea that Fort Ash was there, like, at all.
Do you mean the Fortress of Ash? But I didn't know it was there.
But
that sounds like a way cooler name than Fort Ash.
He's right. It does sound cooler that way.
No.
Right now, I'm face palming, and Rozak is also face palming.
I cannot overstate how sorry I am. If I had known that they were there, the minute I heard, I would have taken that as an act of war.
Well, they've been slowly creeping into your city for probably years.
I think we should leave.
We'll root them out. And he's not lying. He did not know that the Fortress of Ash was there. Now, whether or not that's, whether or not someone else did and just chose not to tell him, the king did not know.
But Lego's not buying it. Because Lego doesn't know. She's saying, like, I think we need to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's take a rest. We've already lost Ren. Let's stay in the house that Osa gave to Casa and Toko. Let's not stay here. No, Che will turn to the king and be like, "We appreciate the offer of your hospitality, but we actually have a home that we're going to be staying in. It was a gift of our friend Osa. So we'll be staying there. Thank you. And if you need to send us anything, your thanks, anything like that, have any questions about how we saved your city or anything like that, we'll be in that house. It was originally for the airbenders, but they're gone now. So especially the one that we had with us. But that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, and as we walk away, Rozak's gonna pick Dosa up by his ankles and drag him back with us, and he's gonna say, probably loud enough for the king to hear, he's gonna say, like, if Malu's men weren't capable enough to find his son in a tea shop, then I'm not leaving Dosa here.
Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna bring him around to where what are we doing?
Well, we're going to find a place for him.
Let's just let's just leave them here. And in the dungeon, they shouldn't have that much trouble keeping a hold on them.
Rico's gonna step in and be like, I think Rosa is onto something here. If he couldn't find his... He brought up something really good. Like, if they couldn't bring back his son from a tea shop, and he didn't know that there were Fire Nation soldiers out here, you really want to leave this guy here?
No, but I also don't want to bring him with us, but I get your point. We can bring him with us.
Rozak's gonna say, I'll take the responsibility of Dosa. As long as I have him, you don't have to worry about anything happening. And he's gonna look at Liko and say, thank you, Liko, and keep walking. And he kind of does like a petty, like, shoulder bump into Che as he walks past Che towards Rue.
Okay. I'll pick up Ren and just carry him out.
Sawing.
Yeah.
He's just snoring.
Just unconscious.
Hold him like a
Just
baby.
scoop him.
It was
and
time, you know?
Just walk him out. And be like, see you later, Bowie.
I'd like to fight someone with you again.
Liko rolls her eyes listening to that while staring at, like, you know, kind of keeps eye contact with the king. She's like, she does not trust this dude before, like, walking off.
And you can see, too, like, there is sadness, deep sadness in his eyes as he watches you leave.
That did not come through to Liko.
Yeah, there's like no hope for them if we're not here if the Fire Nation attacks. That's basically what Rozak is thinking too. He even thinks they're gonna fail at like taking down the fort.
Oh, that's on them. So we make our way back to the house that Osa had gifted to Casa and Toko.
Yeah, you're like standing at the door now.
Jay hesitates a while before knocking. I don't know if anyone cuts in front to do anything.
Liko does.
Still holding Ren.
Liko
Thank you. I'm chilling.
knocks. After, like, waiting for Che to do something, she just kind of rolls her eyes and, like, shrugs and then, like, knocks on the door.
She's so over it.
And you hear, who's there? Hello?
Hey, Toko, it's us.
And the door latches, and it's Toko, and he's like, what are you doing here? I thought you'd do what you needed to in Omashu and get out.
We need a place to stay.
Always. Come in.
Yes, thank you.
Kosa, we've got visitors. You hear, like, scuttling in the back, and...
Hey, Casa.
Hey, didn't expect to see you guys again. Good to see you. We had that heartfelt goodbye.
You look like crap.
Yeah, you look, what happened?
We got into a fight with the Fire Nation that was stationed outside the city.
Are you okay? What happened? Wait, where's Osa?
He didn't make it. And Che just promptly turns away and just walks Ren somewhere to set him down.
I imagine you're tired of carrying me.
Yeah, his arms are getting sore.
And Casa was like getting some tea ready, and she just drops the tea kettle, and it just shatters. And there's like a moment Toka's like taken back, and the shattering just kind of snaps him out of it, and he's Casa. The broom's in the closet. Clean that up. But I want to clean it up. And he guides the rest of you into another room. Tell me what happened.
He was fighting with us, and then he sacrificed his life for us.
Well, I mean, he sacrificed his life so that he could make sure that she wasn't walking away. It's not really for us.
We don't know that it wasn't either.
I can be pretty sure.
The whole time, Toko's just sort of like staring at you, and he starts like shaking his head. He's like, he let revenge guide his heart. I saw it in him the moment he opened his mouth in the blind Unogi. He had something dark inside of him, and he let it out. I'm sorry. No one should have to go out that way.
He didn't have to. She'll leave the room.
We good to fast forward the rest?
Yeah, I was gonna say he'd be like, yeah, of course, you can stay here as long as you want. There's food and meager beds, but I'm sure you guys can rest here. If you want here the New Spirits Festival is happening tonight. I'm sure there'll be some food and I don't know. Don't really feel much like celebrating, but might take your mind off things.
Liko just decides to stay with Rue.
I I will say that you all have this moment to rest. It's not going to be like a rest to get rid of fatigue. You'd have to like sleep through the night to do that. But it is a moment for all of you to sort of like recenter yourselves so you can go back to your center. And I'm assuming you all just kind of rest in whatever way you rest. And, eventually as the sun starts setting, you begin to hear the sounds of celebration outside as people are like walking through the streets, and there's like lanterns, and you can hear people talking and chatting and laughing, and you begin to smell like food wafting into the house, and every now and then you hear fireworks going off in the distance, and there's a knock at the door.
Yeah, is anyone going to get the door, or do you think we'll just let our host do it?
There's like it's like the Sheldon knock. It's the Sheldon knock is happening, and Toko goes, "All right, quiet down. I'm coming." And the door opens, and without even Toko saying anything, you just hear, "The Fortress of Ash is no longer."
Wow, well done.
Great.
I mean, it was mostly me, but
I figured.
it's gone.
Well done, Boomie.
Thank you.
How did you find us?
I told them that we were staying in the
You're
old
dead.
airport.
You told my dad where you're.
Yeah.
I just imagine him shell knocking on every door in Omashu.
Speaking of which, and he claps his hands, and there's a bunch of servants that start walking in with
my
like
God.
a ton of food.
Is anyone hungry?
Buddy, tell me about the smells, Justin. Let's see if this aroma will wake up Ren.
Oh, Steve, the smells, Steve.
Smells.
It's just roast turtle duck and dumplings, and those are the only Asian foods I can think of right now. No, there's tons. I mean, it's a hard thing where like off the cuff, I'm like, I can think of a ton of Asian dish, but then I have to avatar it, right?
Yeah.
So like, there's like, I don't know.
General
It's like
Tso's chicken lo mein combo.
Come on.
No,
There's
absolutely not.
Why you gotta be like that?
and there's this like decadent seared elephant koi fillet that's just like dripping in like garlic and butter, and there's this like almost citrusy smelling possum chicken, and there's this like beautiful bowl of like fresh picked moon peaches, and a this like roasted and smoked chili lobster crab.
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
this like beautiful like platter of like sage tofu, like dripping in this like brown sauce that just smells so good.
Yeah, I'm down there even if I'm in zombie mode. Like, I think Ren just like emerges, completely disheveled hair.
He just appears next to Che. She's like, ah.
Like, doesn't even, like, if you like look like even point blank Che, you can't even tell that Ren's eyes are open enough to navigate properly.
He like waves a hand in front of Ren's face.
No facial response whatsoever.
Nice.
Like beelines for the food, and just starts like going for meat in particular.
Yeah.
Shades of Dosa.
Straight up, Che was about to say, "Is anyone hungry?" But then they start pulling out like dish after dish, and he's like, "All right, now I'm hungry." And he sits down next to Ren and starts eating.
My dad wanted to apologize, and well, he's not very good at it, so this is about all he could think of.
Yeah, tell him to patrol his lands, muster an army. The Fire Nation is coming.
Ren like seems almost immediately revived after being like 3 turtle ducks deep. Just like scarfing
How
all
did you
this food.
eat those so fast?
Like, but still has one eye closed and pops the other open, and like still has messy hair, and looks up at Boomy and is like, "Can you get me poison darts?" And then just keeps eating.
I think he's referring to the poison darts that they shot at us a bunch of times. Yeah.
I suppose I could have the court alchemist whip us up something.
That would be much appreciated.
Why don't you come by the palace tomorrow, and we'll see if we can get you it.
Sounds good.
Are Rozak and Liko eating?
You turn and you see Rozak where he was sleeping. He's sort of just up against the wall, and you see that he has Dosa fully tied up like on the ground and he has like a cloth tied around his mouth. And you see Rozek's holding a piece of rope that's like loosely tied around his hand, and the rope's tied to Dosa's ankle. And he's just been like resting up against the wall next to Dosa like that.
Man.
Goes eating something that that's not meat, whatever there is, like rice or
I said there was a tofu dish, and then there's moon peaches and other vegetable dishes.
She gives some stuff to Rue.
Absolutely. There's plenty of it.
Shay will grab a plate for Rozek and carry it over to him. Here, bro, you should eat some.
Probably after like 3 seconds, Rozek grabs the plate. He is very hungry, but
Ren goes wide-eyed after like turning to see Rozek still having like a corpse on a rope, and is like, he needs medical attention.
Yeah.
Boomy. Poison darts and medical attention. No, not in that order. Medical, you get it.
Poison darts, medical attention.
Just get it.
In that order.
Go.
Okay.
Just go.
Yeah, if you could get a doctor, that'd be great.
I love
Better than the last one. The one who was like, yeah, better than last one, please. Because the one who was standing over me was like kind of not super sharp. Like, your friend is poisoned. Do you mind telling me why your friend is poisoned? It's like, go get an antidote, you fool.
That's the court physician. He's probably the only one who's gonna come.
Okay.
We'll
It'll
take what we can get.
I mean, it's an enemy anyway, so.
Oh, I was talking about Rozek. I don't care about that guy.
I was talking about Faceless over here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Rozek, what's his name?
Dosa.
Oh. Why do you want to bring him with?
I think we can find somewhere that's more well protected than here. Or we can find something else to do with him.
If that's what you want to
Ren's
do.
like, like, such as what, Rozek? Prison?
Rozek just keeps eating.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. You're not really thinking this through.
Yeah, I'm going to teach him to read and give him a small seed loan to start a business.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You haven't thought this through. There's no plan here. What, you're going to stay up all night and watch him every night as long as we got him? We're going to sit him in the middle when we're camping out in the woods and hope that he doesn't wake up in the middle of the night and light us all on fire? What is your thought process? Like, what?
Rozek's gonna look up at Che, and he's gonna say, "Shay, now, I am thinking this through much more than you think. If something happens, I will personally end him, but you don't need to worry about this. I just want to make sure that Dosa can never step in our path again."
Yeah, see, that just seems like you want to end him. And if you do, that's fine. Let's just do it. But why bring him along? Why have all of this pomp and circumstance? We either leave him here or we end him. Why are we playing this game?
Ren is like squatting by Dosa and just like poking him in the ribs to like see if he moves at all. Nothing.
Doesn't move.
This is bad.
It's like
I
you're
think
pushing
you might
the
have ended him already.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
Oh my!
That's what I'm saying.
You can see him faintly breathing, though.
Okay.
You're trying to push this situation. You want the scenario to come up where you're forced to do it. That's what you're doing.
Rozek's going to stand up, and he's going to walk up to Che, and like almost face to face. Rozek's looking slightly down to Che, and Rozek just looks at him and says, "You're talking to me as if you know me. Che, now we don't know each other. I barely know you. I'll be here to protect you because you're family."
But what?
I'm going to pull a move right now, if that's okay.
Just tell me what you do.
This is why I try to remember your principles, because I've always failed to be the idealist. So I want to call out a principle.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm going to turn to Rozek after another good solid poke for Dosa. And I still have like a turtle duck half eaten in my hand. So this may not be as convincing. But I look at him and I'm like, he's your brother. You do know each other. And you can trust him. And obviously I'm appealing to your principle of trust.
So what does that do mechanically?
Let me look at it.
You're calling him out, right?
Yes.
Live up your principles.
Call someone out. Yeah. I shift my balance away from center. And I think I'm moving towards forgiveness, honestly.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And what are you asking him to do?
To trust that Che has good intentions.
Okay.
We're on the 7-9 new challenger. Wait, so who rolls?
Ren does.
Do I shift my balance before I roll? Does it matter?
I think you're just rolling, right? Rolling 2d6.
Do I roll harmony? I forget.
No, you just roll.
Okay.
2d6.
All right.
Oh no, it says
Oh no, roll with their
the
principal.
name and roll with their principal.
Oh.
So you are rolling with Rozik's trust principle.
Which is at 0
And,
right now, correct? Because we all rested?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's actually at my +1 because my
Oh,
center is
yes.
actually at my center is +1
yes.
trust.
Yes. Give me that +1. All right. I got a 7.
Okay. So Rozik, you get to challenge his worldview, and either. Well, why don't we resolve that first? Rozik, what do you say? It is a hit, so you're called to act as they say. So you either have to do it or mark a condition, but then you get a chance to
Marker fatigue.
mark a condition.
Well, I already have 5 conditions.
What do you?
Oh wait,
Are
wait,
you about to be
on a
taken
miss-
out of a scene?
No, because
You
it says
could
on
be
a
taken
it says
out.
no, because it says on a 7 to 9 they challenge your view of the world in turn. Mark of fatigue,
It's-
or they shift your balance as they
No,
choose.
that's to the
So you have to
user.
read the first sentence before that. On a hit, you're called to act as they say. You must
It's
either
do it
do it or mark a condition. And then on a 7 to 9, you get to challenge their view of the world in turn, mark a fatigue, or they shift your balance as
Do
they
it.
choose.
Do it. Hug your brother. Trust him.
Um,
Hug him.
If you
Rozik
mark
is
the
gonna-
condition, you would be taken out of the scene, which would be
He just falls
so
out.
good.
Passes out.
Well, no, it'd be like an
No.
emotional outburst.
Yeah, Rozak's going to turn to Ren. He's going to say, "You think I should trust him purely based on family? Do you know our father? Recurring theme tonight is all you people acting like we're longtime friends."
Ren is clearly like shaken up and just like lowers, but definitely does not drop the roast a turtle duck.
He starts to drop it, but then
Just like, and just lowers it.
You
in
know, that's
hand.
really funny to say, Rozik, because you don't know our father. I do. And you know who reminds me of him? You. Right now.
as soon as Chase says that, like Rose, before he even notices his arms on fire, you see a section of the rope that Rozak's holding just burn into ash as his hands engulf in flames, and he's going to say, "Oh, I can't cuss." He's going to say, "He's going to say, what did you just say?"
I'm saying you're being a distrusting, terrible person to everyone who's just trying to care for you. You're holding on to grudges and hatred so that you can get a little revenge on this guy. He doesn't even matter. You're misplacing your grief over losing a friend, and you're attacking everyone around you. You're pushing your friends and family away like a man we both know.
And say Liko just kind of looks down because like she hears what he's saying and can kind of relate to that too.
So Justin, meta. So did Rozik mark a condition? Are we taking him out?
Yes, I was getting to
Oh.
that.
All right.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
gotta resolve that.
because-
That's what it sounded like to me,
Boom.
so I want to make sure.
Because in response to what Chase says, Rozak's just going to grab the rope or grab Dosa and just barge out the door,
Just dragging him behind you?
dragging him behind me.
Like Santa with a bag of toys.
Great.
Big potato sack.
We'll resolve that in a second. Because I do think it's right. It's probably something that no one follows, Rose. Like you kind of just, he's taken out of the scene. He's gone. Let's figure out what happens to Ren. Ren, either mark a fatigue, which I think you're at 5 fatigue, so you'd mark a condition, or you can let his words shift your balance.
Mine?
Mm-hmm. And Rosic would technically get to pick, but
Condition.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know
makes sense.
I don't know if I'd even want to
Shift me towards action
your
to
balance.
go whoop your butt. I'm
I
full of
also
3
think
turtle
that-
ducks and a partridge and a pear tree, boy. You're not even
You
ready.
want to step to this? You want to step to this? I also think that resolves Rosic's failed protector's burden
I
roll
think so, yeah.
at the start of this arc. Do you want to? What are you thinking? Just walk us through that. You got 2 options. You either keep Che as your ward, or pick someone else new as your ward. And it sounds like you think that Rosic still needs to protect Che.
Yeah, because I also think it makes a lot more sense shifting towards self-reliance.
You shift twice towards self-reliance, right?
Yes, but that's just my balance, though.
Just
Yes,
your
no, you're
balance.
center, yeah. That's still a lot, though, yeah.
All right.
Okay. We've got that all resolved. The rest of you are cooling off of this heated moment. Rosic, you're like pulling Dosa through the streets of Omashu, and there are like people out celebrating, and fireworks are happening. There's games and food and whatnot. And you walk down this alley, and it takes you a little bit of time before you realize that no one else is down this alley. You just keep walking. You're just like, you don't even really think about that. You're just so furious at what Che has said. And it's quiet, and it's strangely quiet. And that kind of catches you off guard for a moment, pulls you out of whatever you're thinking about. And then you hear this like clay terracotta pot break behind you. And you turn around, and someone has been following you. And I think we'll meet this person next week.
Oh.
No! Oh,
So much for coming together.
Oh, that was good. I've been waiting for the teen drama, and we got it. We got it all tonight. We've been building it up, and here we got it.
You wanted a bro
Oh,
fight?
that was good.
The bro fight finally happened.
You wanted a
That was
depleted
good.
idealist?
Johnny looked like he had a great time just watching.
That was teen melodrama at its finest. I was
Yes.
invested.
Yes. Popcorn.
So good, so good. Well, I always say this: we're having a lot of fun. It was a good episode. I was not sure what was going to happen after last week's episode, but it went in very good places. So good job on all of you. If you're enjoying what you're listening to, we do have a Ko-fi. You can check it out at ko-fi.com/flying bison. Feel free to give a one-time gift or become a member. We have a member, and we're working on our first, I don't know, we haven't set a timeline for it, but our first meet and greet. We'll just do them occasionally. So if you want to come hang out with us in a more like intimate and like less structured environment, come hang out with us for a little bit. Become a Ember Island player or more, and you can just come hang out with us. And yeah, what else? We love you guys. You guys are awesome. If you aren't able to give to our Ko-fi, just feel free to tell a friend. That's another great way for this podcast to get in front of other people, is to tell a friend. And I did hear, too, that for every friend you tell, Monroe will go to a different Apple store and scream at them until they reveal where Bill Gates' body is being held.
Mm-hmm.
Is Bill Gates
This
dead?
has just been,
Wait,
this
is Bill
has just
Gates
been
dead?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's just what she's doing.
Yeah.
I love it. That's
I've
perfect.
been practicing.
she said, that's what we're doing.
All right. We'll see you next week,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Avatar Legends was developed and produced by Magpie Games. The worlds of Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra are property of Viacom CBS. Intro music is Dizu by Senbei. Outro music is Tokyo Funk by LATG Music. Logo and art by Kate and Matthew Menke. You can find more of their work at pomakin.com, linked in the show notes.